Hey there folks, John here, and it has been a while, a long time. I have had some IRL stuff that has just completely taken my attention away from YouTube. Don't want you guys to think the channel is dead. It's not dead, it's just a little on hiatus. Sounds bad because that means I'm never going to post anything again, basically. But yeah, it's just been a little slow. I've actually got probably 8 videos that I've recorded that I just haven't had time to edit. My day job is actually as an editor, so I'm working on a documentary for Netflix and a couple other things right now. So when I get done at the end of the day, a lot of times I don't feel like editing anymore. So I have all this stuff that I've recorded that I just don't feel like editing sometimes. And I need to get over that, and I need to get back into YouTube. I've done some other stuff lately in my free time, working on a little bit of a brand change for the channel, completed a new intro video, all that stuff. I just need to get off my butt and actually do something with it. But that's not the subject of this video. The subject of this video is I am up visiting family in New Jersey again, which I haven't done in a while, probably since like last Christmas or something. And I always stop at Digital Press to see what I can find. I just picked up a Famicom, a broken Famicom a few weeks ago. And was able to fix it, replaced a couple things on the inside, and now it works. So now I have a Famicom, so I'm working on building up that collection. I already hit one retro game store here called Level 1 Games. They had a fat stack of Famicom games. I got 5 of them, I think, for $15, so $3 a piece. It's not bad. But Digital Press has a much wider selection, so we're gonna go and see what we can find. Famicom stuff's what I'm after, but who knows, maybe I'll find something else. So here we go. So here we are again at Digital Press Videogames. Front of the store is always pretty fun to look at. You got this like blow up, or well, I guess was Sonic pillow in there, Game Boy kiosk, Tommy Hilfiger, and then they're just like display of like old games that are cool. And this is the NES section. This is where I, if there's going to be any Famicom games, they're going to be here. There's Black Label Goonies down there. You don't see that very often. But yeah, this is their commons and uncommons, and if this is their commons and uncommons, you know that there's going to be a lot in this store. You got your Super Nintendo here, pretty standard fare, and then they've moved all their Genesis stuff down to these 2 little shelves. They're like all stacked together. Virtua Racing, a lot of interesting hardware in that game. Young Indiana Jones, which was a pretty fun game. I remember. I don't know. Haven't played it since I was a kid. Adventures of Batman and Robin. Amazing animation, and yeah, that's about the right price for that. And over here, you got a couple more. You got what was that? Awesome Possum. Yeah. You could get anything made back then when it came to video games. A Genesis 6-pack. You know what? If you're beginning a collection, that's a great set of games on there. That should be first on your list. And then you got the boxed Genesis stuff here, of course. Lots of sports titles in that. There always are. Power Rangers. That's I remember that game being pretty good, actually. A little like tournament fighting game, kind of Street Fighter-y. And this is interesting. The Sonic Hedgehog Sega Classic Edition. You don't see that one very often. You got your Master System stuff. That's one thing about this store. They have more Master System stuff than probably any store I've ever been in. So it's pretty cool to see. Often, you find some cool stuff like, hey, Alex Kidd and the Lost Stars. I'm surprised this is out of the case. Usually they keep all their Alex Kidd stuff in the behind glass, but hey, pretty cool. Then you got Space Harrier down here. If you never played Space Harrier, you got to play Space Harrier. It's an awesome shooter from back then. It's amazing that this was an 8-bit system too. And then over here you got your Sega CD stuff, which I just recently acquired a Sega CD. It's another video that I need to post, but yeah, I remember Jurassic Park from this one. Not a whole lot I remember about Sega CD stuff. A ton of FMV games. Yep, looks like there's some FMV stuff going on there. Those pre-rendered graphics and everything. And then this one just looks interesting. Lodestar, again, I'm sure it's FMV. Yep, FMV. So that's the what you see in Sega CD stuff.
And if you need any extra random Game Boy Advance games, man, these guys have got you covered. Bins of these suckers. And then you got the PSP games. You know, I always check this section because I'm still on the lookout for the first Prinny game. You know, that's the little penguin guys from Disgaea, if you're interested in that series. One of these days I'll find it. Didn't get lucky today, though. And then you got the glass cases. The glass cases are always cool. You got the Sega CD stuff you'd actually want to play in there. Sonic CD hanging out right there. You know, and again, Master System stuff. Alex Kidd, you know, Fantasy Zone. And speaking of Fantasy Zone, there you go. This is the NES Nintendo glass case. Lots of fun stuff in here because they like to stock hacks and repros, which is pretty cool. Oh, and there's Mega Man X. That's the only Mega Man game that I do not have for the Super Nintendo. I need to pick that up sometime, but not today. You got N64 stuff, you know, Wii, and then there's some Amiibo down there too. That'll about do it for this trip to Digital Press, so let's wrap things up. Okay, so that was Digital Press Games. Like I said, I usually stop up there whenever I am up in New Jersey visiting family. And unfortunately, we didn't have any success going in for what I was actually looking for, which was Famicom games. I believe of course I'm recording this after the fact, but I believe I commented on that in the B-roll. So, I didn't walk away with anything today. I almost walked away with an NES game called Robo Warrior, which is kind of like a Bomberman clone, which is pretty interesting, pretty good music. Been meaning to pick it up for a while, but I decided, you know what, I was already lucky with the Famicom games earlier yesterday, so I didn't need it. So what I figured I'd do is go ahead and show off the Famicom games that I got yesterday, which was a really, really fun find. I wasn't really expecting to find them, but the first one is Combat, which is an early Famicom game, and this one's actually cool. Not all of them have this, but you can actually see my camera will focus on it there. You can actually see a screenshot from the game on the back of the cartridge, which I think is pretty cool. And if I could read Japanese, then I would know what the game is about too. But no, this is a pretty basic kind of top-down shooter type game. I believe it's a single screen shooter if I remember right. It's been a long time since I played it, but pretty fun. Another thing I love about these Famicom carts is the awesome colors they come in. This is a Jalico cart. Jalico did a lot of arcade type games back in the day. If you're familiar with City Connection, that might be one of the more popular, not really I don't know if you can say it's popular, but more well-known ones that came out in the US. But anyway, Combat, that was pretty cool. Bokusuka Wars, which I know absolutely nothing about, but the cover looked cool, so I figured it's worth at least giving it a shot. Sorry, I had my finger in front of it there. There's the whole cover. So that's cool. You know, again, I know nothing about it, but you know what? We'll give it a go. And then the other three are basically a series that I loved as a kid, or at least the first one I did. And the first two came out in the US. The last one didn't. But the first one in Japan was called Super Chinese. For anybody that is familiar with this, you may recognize the two characters from the cover right there. This one was called Kung Fu Heroes in America. And it's kind of a top-down, punchy game. The first one's just fun. It's two-player, like a brawler almost, but the hit detection was kind of weird. I don't know. It was just a fun game that I enjoyed when I was a kid. This is the Famicom version of it, which is cool. They also had Super Chinese 2, which was pretty cool, which I didn't know there was a sequel to Super Chinese or Kung Fu Heroes, but actually I have played this game before and did not know. In the US, this game is called Little Ninja Brothers, which has kind of a similar combat system, but actually has a lot of action RPG elements in it with experience and leveling up and all kinds of stuff like that. So pretty cool. When I was doing research after the fact, I bought it just based on the fact that I knew that I liked Kung Fu Heroes to begin with. But yeah, after the fact, I found out that this is actually Little Ninja Brothers, which is cool. That's actually a game that I don't have. in my NES collection, and one that's on my short list to pick up. So pretty cool that I now have the Famicom version of it. Unfortunately, there's a lot of text, and it's all in Japanese, and so I can't read Japanese, so I'll probably have to use a guide. And speaking of using guides, Super Chinese 3. So this is the sequel to Little Ninja Brothers, and again, I have no idea what it says. But I know I enjoyed the first one, and I know I enjoyed the second one. So I'm assuming this one is 3 times as good? Maybe? Maybe not? Anyway, worth having. So those were my Famicom pickups, and so now I am in the market for Famicom games. Depending on where you go, you can either find them really cheap or really expensive. Since they're import things, it can go either way, because either they're expensive because they're imports, or they're super cheap because nobody wants them, and they're hard to move. So it just depends on where you're at and what you do. But anyways, that'll about do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for clicking on this video after I haven't posted anything in like 5 months or something like that. I did mention that I was doing, that I did a new intro video. So since you guys clicked on the video, and I really appreciate it, I'm going to go and put that in at the end of this one. And, you know, hopefully you'll watch it and you'll like it. And this little preview of things to come, including the channel rebrand. So that's about it for me. Until next time, like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff, and I will see you guys soon.